Greg, it's great to have you with us today, though, to talk about how basically how different companies are dealing with the challenges of COVID and hopefully looking after their own, because I feel like I do feel like an onus does need to come down to the private sector, whether that's clinics or companies such as Transguard, to make sure that their employees are being put through the system and staying safe. And it sounds like you've vaccinated how many thousand now in 3 weeks? 16,000?
Yeah, 16,000. So we're about 49,000 organisation at the moment. We're also bringing in 5,000 a month. So by the time we get to vaccinate everyone by the end of March, we'll be closer to 60,000.
Wow. Can I ask about the logistics of vaccinating that number of people? How and where are you doing it? And how would you go, who chooses who goes first?
Yeah, that's quite an interesting one, actually, because when this all started, people were nervous about the vaccine. So it's all about education. Because let's be honest, we had the same debate at my breakfast table at home, what vaccine we're going to take. And it's the same with all the guys that work for us. We work in every sector, so we have a complete mix of staff and of levels of people and their education, etc. So it is all about education. So first of all, there was some pushback. People they were worried about it. Once they realised that we're all on it and everyone's going for it, then if anything, everybody wants it.
Big appetite.
And then we worked with some partners, to be honest. We started doing it with just the normal centres that are around doing the vaccines. And then Emirates and Dubai airports and DHA came a little bit to our rescue. And they managed to we've got about 16,000 through in the last 3 weeks, which is fantastic. But when you think about, like you just said, logistics, that's 16,000 people who need to organise rosters.
Of course. You need
to organise making sure you've got all the medical certificates with you. Transport. I mean, we transport 40,000 people every day.
Otherwise, yeah.
At the same time, we've now got to transport and also keep 50% on buses. So it is an absolute military plan. The guys have been great, and in fairness, my team's been fantastic, but Emirates have been brilliant, DHA have been brilliant, and Dubai airports, because we are turning up with thousands of people doing it 24/7 over the weekends with all our staff at their facility, which, let's be honest, is one of the best airports in the world. So, and everybody's worked really well as a team. So, it's been good.
I'm really glad you mentioned the education element, because I feel like in certain nationalities, certain cultures, there's a lot of fake news being sent around on WhatsApp or Facebook groups, and perhaps not having access to reliable news sources, really, and the data that others are. So I'm really, really pleased that that's been communicated and talking about the obvious benefits of the vaccination process. And now that's a nice problem to have, that people really want to feel like they're being looked after. And I think your company is unique in the sense that a lot of the guys that you have, and women, are very much on the front line of dealing with the public. So when I think about security guards, they've been coming into contact with thousands of people every single day. Was that a concern for you, thinking about your front line?
Yeah, I think, well, if you go back to the very beginning of COVID, we had to get on the front line, front foot anyway, because our staff, if we get cases, the C2s, multiple so fast, it becomes an operational nightmare to get guys to fill rosters to get them to work. So we had to be very careful also, all the normal, the PPE, the temperature checks that the guys are doing if they're standing on the Mall of Emirates or Dubai Mall or in a bank. We're doing the same thing in our own accommodation. So the guys are used to it because it's where they live. So it's not a change. They don't go to work and act differently to what they do where they live. And that's really important. Again, it's the educational piece as well, and getting them to understand it. But for us, we work in every sector. We're very unique. We are the one-stop shop of the country, biggest FM country, biggest security company. So we're touching the clients all the time, as in the public, and also the public are coming into us all the time as well. So it's a two-way street. So I think what the guys have done has been brilliant. We haven't had any problems around guys not wearing masks and things like that. And it's the right thing to do. We educate them right the way back to what this means to your family as well. Because it also there's a knock-on effect for us, because also it helps the guys back in their own countries as well. So I think we've got 102 different countries in Transguard. So again, language barriers when you're doing this education, like you said, the rumour mills, what you get, and all the things that we've had to squash. And we've very much stuck to the DHA rules and regulations from the very beginning to make it simple for everybody, so then they don't listen to what I call the rubbish on the sides.
I'm really, really pleased it's been going so well, truly. And you're employing people. Is this true? You're actually hiring during a pandemic, Greg? What's going on, and what are you looking for?
This is the bane of my life at the moment, bringing people in. Yeah, unbelievable. I've got a need of about 15,000 people in the next 3 months in all sectors, whether it's security, cash in transit, hospitality. So, you know, a lot of people have left the country. A lot of guys have left the businesses for own reasons, family reasons. Obviously, pandemics have scared a lot of people. And now it's a case about let's get some of these staff back, new people. So we're on a massive recruitment plan. If you look at our social media, you'll see it for yourself. We are massively going for it.
So if anyone is listening and they would fall into some of those sectors, what's the best way of finding out more about those jobs, Greg?
Go through the careers page on our website, and then get the details and where you go. I mean, at the moment, we're receiving something like 2,000 a day applicants.
Whoa.
Yeah, so so our world's turned upside down. So you've gone from a world of, you know, having to be in lockdown into another world of actually we need to be firing them back.
Absolutely, and making sure that everyone who comes on board is not only the right person, but is going to be safe and well looked after all the way through. For any other private companies who are out there thinking, well, we really should be doing this, why would you encourage a business owner to really step up and look after their own on the vaccination front?
I think the answer is simple. I mean, one, you got to lead by example. So we've all gone through the vaccine. The Ward family itself, we're all booked in for this Sunday. But the whole leadership team are all going for it. And we stepped out and said that straight away. There was no, you know, nonsense or anything. If we're asking people that we would like them to be vaccinated, it's obviously not mandatory, but we're asking people and we're encouraging people, then how can I say that and not do it myself? So we're going for it. I think it's the right, for us, it's the right thing to do. Firstly, for our staff and their families. Secondly, for our clients and the public. And then for the UAE itself. So we all live here. This is our home. You know, this is my house. I live in the UAE and this is where I live. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the right thing to do for us. So for everybody, and we're in it together. You'll see all that. I'm always talking about one team, and it's the way we've got to deliver this. And so for anyone looking at it from the outside, you've got to help the guys. You've got to organise the transport. You know yourself how, you know, you can be in queues and things like that. And you have to educate the guys what they're going to experience when they get there as well. But if you can organise it and get it done, it's absolutely the right thing to do. And the bottom line is your health.
Health is wealth. And also, I think it makes a difference, as you say, with more than 100 different nationalities. This is home, you know, and I feel like as an employer, there is an extra level of responsibility, perhaps, when people are working abroad. So well done, really, is my big message to you guys. It sounds like you're doing an amazing job. So aiming to have about 95% of that 60K plus workforce done by March. It's a lot of paperwork.
There's an internal stretch on that as well, but yeah, we're going for, obviously we're going for as many as we can. And I think, to be honest with you, it's whether the vaccination centres can keep up with us, because obviously everybody wants it now.
Yeah,
they're all so, and we have to be patient now. You know, there's going to be times where some centres might run out, etc., before they're filled up, and we've got to roll with the punches on this one, but. We are going to go as fast as we can, because it is just the right thing to do, and it's the only thing that's going to make the impact if everyone's vaccinated.
On individual health, on company health, and on the community of Dubai as a whole. Couldn't agree more. Greg, well, thank you so much for your time today. It sounds like you are an incredibly busy man, so to steal you away for 10 minutes has been a pleasure, and wishing you all at Transguard all the very best. Let's get those vaccinations done.
Thank you, my pleasure.